Is this really a realistic amount of blood?
Cut. Just hang on.
This seems like overdoing it, Richard.
You can never overdo blood, Adam.
No?
No, don't be a wuss. That's a great amount of blood. What do you reckon, Pete?
It's called an arterial squirt.
Yeah.
If you look up all the textbooks, it's got a medical term, arterial squirting, and Richard and I are known as the best squirters in the business.
Yeah, we built our careers on those sort of squirts.
Okay, so then you're happy with this?
Yeah,
we've got
Well,
this?
I think it should be a little bit more. Just stick it
A little bit of more pressure.
Okay.
A little bit more elbow grease, Richard. Come on, let's go.
Okay, very good.
Back to one.
Back to number one. Are you guys kidding me? Not enough blood, too much blood. Oh my gosh, you guys sort this shit out. I'm going back to my trailer.
All right, perhaps we should explain to the audience what they just saw.
So that was a short film that we shot in collaboration with Weta Workshop.
Yeah, with Peter Jackson and Richard Taylor and all the incredible craftspeople there. We went there a couple of years ago and covered a lot of what Weta does for films. And that was really cool. And we knew we were going back, but we didn't want to do the same thing. So I came up with the idea for this just sort of little ephemeral plot of a dumb little movie that used my King Arthur armor from Excalibur, since I knew that movie was super important to both Peter Jackson and Richard Taylor. And we convinced Weta Workshop to work with us using all of their different filmic departments to put together that little movie.
The three of us went to New Zealand with a story idea. You would outline what you thought would be a great short film idea, and we didn't know if it was going to work.
Yeah.
So we documented that whole process day by day, figuring out the action, what that script was going to be, location scouting.
Locations, yeah, the tech involved, all the prosthetics. I mean, it really was a collaboration that was problem solving, make-believe, essentially.
And it's also like Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings films are really important to all of us.
Yeah.
And when you're working with those guys, not only you're working with the whole crew and people who played all these different orcs and goblins and elves in the movies, but when you're location scouting, you're like in the middle of a public park and they're like, "Oh, we shot Lord of the Rings over there. That's where I stabbed Frodo." You know,
Even the location scout manager was like, "I was a hobbit in Hobbit." I'm like, "What? Like, my whole family were hobbits. We're all running around in Hobbit." I'm like, amazing.
Well, the thing, I loved it. We were sitting out front waiting for a cab one afternoon, and Shane, this big Maury who plays our monster, is there, and he's trying to take a selfie with a knife. And Norm steps up and he's like, "Hey, can I help you take this?" He's like, "Oh yeah, this is the knife I stabbed Frodo with."
And he was
and
the
turns out to have
performer.
played the Nazgul in Fellowship. That was what it was like every single day.
Oh yeah. We actually have that on video too in the in the premium series.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so that whole week was documented and all the aspects of filmmaking.
Yeah, I mean, we had an idea, but it changed and morphed in collaboration with these professionals who have done this for years, kind of building off of each other. It was a really cool collaboration that kind of evolved and became the film that you saw here.
One of my favorite moments is we were using one of the cameras that Peter Jackson used for The Hobbit.
Yep.
And he specifically says to me, "I want you to aim the blood streaming from your arm right at the lens of this camera." And I'm like, "Well, it's his camera. All right, I will do exactly that."
He walked away, I got plenty of those, it's fine. We do it all the time.
So the whole point of that short film was to document that process, to be involved in a tiny glimpse of what Weta Workshop does at grand scale when they're working on $100 million blockbusters.
Well, and they were working on a couple of while we were there. So like while they're turning out like 3 of these little knives for us, they've got a production facility making hundreds of swords and hundreds of suits of armor. It's just churning out from the craftspeople there.
And we documented that whole process. And it is a series that you can watch right now on tested.com. We also want to thank Weta, Richard Taylor, Peter Jackson, and the amazing crew there.
The whole team rolled out the red carpet, made us feel so welcome and so much like family. It really was like, we're never going to forget that visit, and we're going back as soon as we can.
And so hope you enjoyed the short film, hope you enjoyed the series, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Nicely done. And then Joey stabbed the camera.